I've literally watched Squid Games 4 different times in 3 different languages. And I love telling people that I actually got into it before it was cool. Like, I did watch it like a whole entire week before everybody else knew about it, and it makes me feel super cool. And like everybody else, I was obsessed with this show and the whole world of it, and I think everybody can kind of relate to it. I mean, who doesn't love a good anti capitalist message and theme? I'm here today to tell you why I am heartbroken with how it ended, and I felt like drawing this scene, and we're gonna get into all of it. I remember when it ended, when the first season ended, I tried to fill the void with like other great shows like Alice in Borderland and later on The Eight Show, which are both really, really great shows if you're into death games and stuff like that. But for now, I'm just gonna vent about the show while doing this time, showing you guys this time lapse, and yeah, there's gonna be spoilers, so this is your warning now. Just before we jump in here, I just want to come in and say that if you don't already know, I'm a multi-passionate creator who hopes that my enthusiasm for creating will rub off on you. So if you think that's super cool, I hope you stick around. Alright, so let's start with the good, which is essentially just season 1. This is back when all of the games successfully stressed me out, especially the Marvel one. And, I was like super attracted to how the world looked. And what's interesting is that because I had gotten into it like a week before the rest of the world knew about it, I didn't know this was about murder and killing and shooting. So like when when I remember when like me and my husband had watched hide and seek, we were also like Gi-hoon. And we were definitely caught off guard. We did not know that this is the type of show that this was gonna be. So ignorance was bliss. And of course, it had like a really awesome plot twist. And I love me some plot twists that make me immediately want to rewatch with that context in mind. Then season 2 was announced, and at first I was actually really happy about this because I had wanted to know if the detective and Gi-hoon actually end up ending the games. And I was like totally into Gi-hoon with his red hair. Like, whoa. I hated that was like maybe like 2 minutes of footage. Like, we need redheaded Gi-hoon back. But not only does season 2 start with him not having his beautiful red head, but then like we just like kind of we the story didn't go the way I wanted it to, and like maybe if it had done something better I wouldn't be complaining, but I still feel like my idea would have been super cool. I literally did not want Gi-hoon to be in the games again. I thought that was like the dumb, like this is where all of the problems start, when they decided that Gi-hoon's gonna be in the games again. Like, what good is it for him to also be in the death games? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it reminds me of like when sometimes people are like, oh, people of privilege should come down from that privilege, or people with like a ton of money or something should just give it all away and be poor and impoverished as well. Like, that does not make any sense. Like, how are you gonna make any type of change while being the person that needs the help? Like, instead you actually add to the problem, because now you just become another person who is impoverished and needs aid. So it kind of like reminded me that I'm like, why would they put this man just won so much money, like so much money, and he could do so much more with that if they had just gotten creative about it. Please, like, literally just imagine if Katniss, like, I know she volunteered for the games, but that was because of her sister and everything. Imagine if she didn't have the sister and she was just like, I hate the capital and I'm gonna bring them down by entering the capital, like entering the game. You know what I mean? Like, does that make any sense? No. And like, literally imagine a world where Gi-hoon starts like a private army, or like works with the detective to like build some type of army, and together they have to discover more about the world. I think it'd be a really great excuse to have like more world building, and you would discover more about the games, the history, the backstory, how frontman became frontman, and like how they find their frontmen people, and the rich people that go to these games. We can learn a little bit more about them. Maybe we can go zoom into like one of the rich people's background story. I don't know, the list goes on. And like they could even go into international games and like seeing how the international games are ran and like trying to take different ones. Maybe one is easier to take down than another, and like you can help free those people and then they can recruit. I don't know, but I totally thought it was gonna go the angle of Gi-hoon is now also like a big player, like he's got money now and he's gonna like use the money that they gave him against them. So I don't know, I just felt like that would have been like a really cool way to go, or something of the anything else other than having Gi-hoon be back in the games would have made me pretty happy. But you know, as much as I love like this guy, you know, the salesman or whatever, and I love Thanos, of course, and I love Miss Diva over here, I could have done without like 90% of this season. I did like that one game too, the one where they have to like hold each other, mingle. That one's a fun one. I like that one. But yeah, that was the 10% that I liked of that season. And then finally, season 3 comes along with CGI Baby. And I have just about lost it. As much as I really, really like the hide and seek game, like a lot, especially if you've seen Three Body Problem, like if you've read the Three Body Problem, you know exactly what I'm talking about. There's like a scene in there that's very similar to that. I just felt like it was so high stakes, and like I felt like what I felt like is that the timing of it was like very strange. Maybe I always say this like to my husband, I'm like, maybe I would have liked it more had we watched it all together, that like how it was meant to be, you know, like where you watch season 2 and then like the second season, third season are really supposed to be like part 1 and 2, you know, so maybe I would have liked it more had that been one big season. But I just found like the hide and seek game was like the timing of it was like very awkward, and we lost like every single person that we have invested time into in season 2 all at once. And then there's the birth, and like, you know, just having a pregnant woman in the story to begin with is just so cheap. Like, such an easy way to build emotional points, and like, you know, that story is just gonna be sad. Like, of course it's gonna be, I mean, it's a sad story, right? I get it, but like at the end of the day, I don't know, really, like a baby, like really. And like, isn't there like a trope that's like, when they add a baby to the story, it's gonna get bad, right? Right? Yeah. Everything about this CGI baby was terrible. From the birth itself being like literally like 3 minutes or something, to the baby becoming like a new player. And like, I can't tell you how much I hated this baby. Like, low-key, like, just throw it off of the platform. Like, I do not care for this. Like, I was like totally, why? I don't care about this baby. I don't feel any attachment to the baby. It just made it awkward, and you have like so many questions, like feeding, and is the baby sleeping, and changing the diapers, like all these different things. Like, I just think it's super cheap, and every time I saw the baby, it like totally pulled me out of the story. Now, I'm choosing to draw this scene specifically because I think I really enjoyed the message that the director was trying to do here. Like trying to say, I like what he was trying to do with like, you know, humans are, and like that's it. Like that, I think that's pretty cool. I think about that a lot. And I think kind of like some of the, like the sacrificial baby themes, and like I ponder a lot. Like, people are always like saying that humans, like the best way, like to be logical and to be rational human being is the best kind of human being. And I think that is I think that's crazy that we worship like logical thinking, and like I'm a creative person. Like and creativity is like very much like an intuition based thing, and like a lot of times it isn't super logical. And by the way, like if you're creative too, I have a newsletter where we talk about creativity and I give inspirations and I shout you out. And if you're into any of that, like the link is in the description. I'd love to have you in our little community, and I'd love to have you in our community, and all creatives are totally welcomed. But yeah, like everybody praises being rational, but humans are more than just robots. And we do things that don't make the most sense all the time. Like we say that evolution and things, it's all for survival, but people will die for, like people would give up their life for a good cause, or certain people would sacrifice themselves and sabotage their own chances of survival for something bigger than them. They'll fight for something that is more important to them, like a better, like good ideas and things like that. So like it drives me crazy that like our society right now is very much like woohoo, be like 1+1 is 2, like, but there's way more to the human experience than just that base level rational thinking. So yeah, I really liked that. And also the director says something about like Gi-hoon, anytime they had Gi-hoon have to make a choice or like a big decision, they use like blue and red or something, or maybe it was pink and blue or something. I made it pink and blue because I was looking at my Pinterest board and apparently I really like this color scheme. So I chose to do this, but I think he says that the director says it somewhere in like some behind the scenes something, and I thought that was cool. So I redrew it with those colors, just to like capture like some of that. Oh, he's making a decision between life and death and something. And I just wanted to highlight, like, as much as like I'm really upset with the direction that the show went writing wise, I still think the show all in all was extremely beautiful to look at. And I also just really wanted to highlight, like, shout out to the lead actor and every single one of the actors except the VIPs. But besides those guys, every single one of the actors in this story absolutely killed it. I can't even believe, like, whenever you watch them outside of it, I can't even believe that they played the roles that they did play. They're so talented. And remember that one actress from the north, the girl that was the North Korean girl, and she's so beautiful, and she's like a model, and that was her first time acting. Oh my gosh, that's crazy. I don't know where they're finding these people, but they're so good. And so this is just a little piece of fan art that I'm dedicating to all of them. So thanks for listening to me rant on about something I really I still would say I really love the series. I don't let shitty endings ruin it for me. I will remember it after season 1 with his red hair, and that's okay. That's how I'll have it remembered. Just like Attack on Titan, you don't need to keep watching the last season. Just end it early, and then you can still, it helps me sleep better at night. So yeah, I hope you'll stick around and watch me make more stuff, and hopefully get more inspired to make stuff that you like and show me the stuff you make. And I want to make a bunch of coding videos, animation, drawing, just all things creative. Maybe I'll get into music production, like who knows. But if any of that sounds interesting to you, definitely subscribe, like, and I will see y'all next time. Let's see what Ashley does next.